I'm still this far from answering your email. I'll get there though. Okay.
I did my own infrastructure maintenance project this weekend, so.
Was it successful?
Yeah, with the help of the kids, the two sons, put in about, I think it's gonna be about 30 and a half to 40 tons. Stone, and there's to mulch my driveway.
Do they know
Stones and cement blocks.
The only thing I'm sympathetic to are some realtors who need a longer span for their clients. I'll give you a call.
I'll go do it. Oh. I got it. Okay. Got it. Ready?
Township Clerk, would you call the roll?
Trustee Wilson.
Here.
Trustee Holmes.
Here.
Trustee Tindem.
Here.
Trustee Grover. Trustee Rainey. Trustee Burris. Trustee Fisk. Trustee Braithwaite. Trustee Wynn. 8-1.
We have a quorum. Welcome to the special Evanston Town Board meeting. I apologize, it was left off the agenda, but we are taking citizen comment. So if anyone wants to comment, please come up to the microphone, give your name and address. And you have 3 minutes. Oh, is there a sign-up sheet?
Yes.
Excellent. Could someone get me the sign-up?
Could you get the sign-up sheet for the township?
Thank you.
Can I just start?
Go right ahead, Bonnie.
Hello, my name is Bonnie Wilson, the Evanston Township Assessor. I strongly believe in township government, and I'm very proud of the services that the township provides to the citizens in the Evanston community. With the recent resignation of Evanston Township Supervisor Gary Gaspar, I feel strongly that the township and the citizens of Evanston need a strong township supervisor that understands the needs of the residents in this community and will have the time to devote to Evanston Township. I trust and believe that the next person who is appointed to be the next township supervisor will continue to support and understand all of the programs that are offered through the general and emergency assistance programs. I have personally worked with and know that the general assistance staff will continue to offer to the residents of Evanston and the Evanston community the same excellent services that they have always provided in the past. The staff is to be commended for all the turmoil that they have recently had to endure under the last administration. Hopefully, the next appointed township supervisor will work with the Evanston community and the township staff, and together the township will become even more viable, stronger, and recognized for its great services that they provide and the agencies that desperately need their funding. Finally, if the township, the City of Evanston, and the trustees all work together for the good of the Evanston residents and the Evanston community, there should be no need to dissolve Evanston Township. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Junad Risky and then Betty Esther.
Janad Risky. Council members seem to think the township money is their money to use. As you took money for social services, it was in the city budget. I think the taxpayers need to realize council members are not running the social services in this town so well. Recently, Kurt's Cafe got $21,000 of city funding. But one of their clients, a 21-year-old, put a 14-year-old girl into prostitution and violently attacked her. If this was private money, as a taxpayer, I guess I wouldn't really care. Somebody would be paying for it, and that's their thing. But this city council seems to want to support this. So I think this council has a responsibility for what it's doing. And is this council properly monitoring something like that with basically as people with criminal records involved? I realize since the victim really was not from Evanston, maybe not someone in the neighborhood, that maybe there is no upcry, nobody will bother to care. But it's a serious matter. Dealing with criminals and their rehabilitation is a very difficult business with very low rates. Though I think the city will pretend they have a high success rate, and they don't. The public should understand the risks and well to the neighborhood. Years ago, I had a neighbor whose car was stolen at Evanston Township High School. They caught the youth. The police officer told her she wanted to help the youth. The police officer advised her to stay away from it. He was dangerous. Even a former council member was helping a youth, had his home burglarized. So these are not just because you want to be do-gooders and help people. It really involves analysis, hard work, and really what you need to do. The city is doing so many things in haphazard manner and not really doing things, just like trying to dissolve this township. There's no logic to it. There's no justification. There's no programming, no work. It's just like giving money to Kurt's Cafe. You didn't monitor that, and now someone got hurt. Again, it could probably happen. Mr. Gaspard may not have been able to run the township, but at least he did not pretend he was going to solve the criminal problems in this town by putting the taxpayers' money at waste and endangering the public. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Betty Esther. I stay at 2031 Church Street. I have two questions. One, the Township Code, Article 30, and a lot of other articles in the Township Code, allows for the electors, which would be me, a voter, to add something to the agenda, which I did drop off at the city clerk office. He did stamp it. He took it upstairs, but I see no mention of that. So I guess you're going to be taking that up on the other business. One of the items was the reconsideration of rehiring 2 employees, the executive director and the receptionist that Mr. Gaspard, the former township supervisor, fired. The other one was to discuss the Novak report and its relevance to Ordinance 105-0-13 and the action from 4T-R-11. Those was the things that we asked that be considered tonight, to be placed on the agenda for discussion tonight. So not seeing that, my question then is to the board is, will there be another town meeting for these issues to be addressed? Or not? Or will they just be swept aside and say, hey, you don't have nothing to say and we're not listening to you? So if that's the case, please let me know that now. The other thing is, dissolving the township will not serve anybody here in the city. I know you have a task tonight to accept his resignation. He did submit it. Please do accept it. The nomination for the person to replace the township supervisor, I ask you to put that off. You have 60 days to do that. I think more effort should be given to the community, to the resident, to the electors, to the voters, to put that person's name out there before you appoint him. Is there such an urgency that it has to be done tonight? That was not explained in any document that was put on the website for this meeting. So the letter we haven't seen, I guess you will make that available to the public, but at least some more information than just an agenda should be given to the public. Do have some consideration and respect for the people that get up, come, go to vote. They are here, they are taxpayers, they support the city, and we deserve more. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes citizen comment. City Clerk, would you read the letter?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Got a letterhead stating the town of the city of Evanston, Honorable Gary Gaspard, Township Supervisor, dated October 17, 2013. Dear Mayor Tisdall and Clerk Green, the job of Township Supervisor requires more time than I anticipated. Because of the time commitments, I regret to tell you that I can no longer serve. As of Friday, October 18, 2013, I resign my position. Sincerely, Gary Gaspard, Town Supervisor. That was received in my office on the 18th.
Thank you. Perhaps you would like to explain to Ms. Esther the difference between the town board meeting and the other township meetings.
Okay, with a town board meeting, let me find the page. Can't find it. Okay. In the Township Officials of Illinois, on page 40, under vacancies in township offices and the manner of filling them, it states that in line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it says, then the township board shall fill the vacancies by appointment, by warrant under their signatures and seals, and the person so appointed shall hold the respective office of the remainder of the unexpired term, 60 ILCSS. All persons so appointed shall have the same powers, duties, and salaries as those of vacating offices and are subject to the same penalties as if they had been elected or appointed for a full term. But in this,
I guess, City Clerk, I hoped you'd explain what I believe Ms. Esther asked, which was why her items were not on the agenda.
okay, gotcha.
Alderman Rainey?
As she was asking, I was thinking about that. I believe that the electors have rights, including determining agendas and voting on matters, but only at the annual town meeting.
That's correct.
And this is just a routine,
Board
regular meeting. Has some very non-routine items on them, but it's a regular meeting.
Thank you, Alderman Rainey. I think that answers the question. Alderman Wilson, did you have a motion?
Well, first, I think we should, I move that we accept the letter of
Thank you.
the letter of resignation.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Anyone else want to speak? Nobody else? That was it, right?
No, that was the list.
All right. Madam Mayor, in view of the fact that we do have some personnel issues to address, I think that might be more appropriate to attend to that prior to the other agenda items. So I would like to make a motion that we advance to item number 5 on the agenda, if the chair believes that.
I believe that's the
course.
appropriate thing to do.
Okay. And therefore,
Alderman Rainey, did you?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about this. Could you give me a hint of what the personnel items are?
I think Ms. Esther gave you some of the hint.
Are we going to be hiring people?
I don't think we're actually hiring them. I think we just
Huh?
have some.
I can't hear you.
Well, we're going to discuss okay. We're going to discuss personnel, which would be the 2 vacant offices as well as the office of Township Supervisor.
You know, we're going to discuss 6 new positions tonight in the library, 6 full-time positions in the library, and we're not going to go into executive session for that.
But we're not going to name names of people.
Are we going to name names of people to hire in?
No, we're going to name names of people possibly to hire or to serve as a Township Supervisor.
But that's not hiring. A township supervisor is an elected position. I'm just concerned about this. I mean, if we were going to talk about personnel issues, who did what to whom in the township staff, which I didn't think we were going to talk about, then I can see an executive session. But I'll go along with the program, but I'm just concerned that this does not sound like executive session material.
Alderman Board Member Fisk.
Thank you. I raised the same issue at the last time we met, and I'd like to hear from Corporation Counsel, please.
Madam Mayor, members of council, Town Clerk Green, grant for our town board attorney. Executive session is appropriate to consider the appointment of personnel. And if the appointment of personnel is a matter that will be discussed by the board, that is an appropriate subject matter for an executive session to be convened. Also, if there's other issues related to employees that have been alluded to on the open record in tonight's meeting, that is also a fully appropriate matter to be discussed pursuant to the appropriate motion to go into a closed session.
Thank you.
I don't see the supervisor I'd like to understand how the supervisor or an alderman or a mayor could be defined as personnel. If so, I'd like to get me some benefits that I'm not getting. Vacation pay.
Under the township code, the town board has the power and the duty to appoint a supervisor in case of a vacancy. The
In
town
executive
board,
session.
not in executive session, no. Any formal action would have to be taken in open session. However, the issue can be discussed. That's consonant with the objectives and the spirit of the Open Meetings Act.
I give up. I accept your explanation.
Board Member Grover. Trustee Grover.
Thank you. I'm reading our, it looks like exceptions allowing closed meetings. It's K7, which reads, meetings to consider the appointment of a person to fill a public office or vacancy in a public office where the body has the appointing authority, and to consider removal from office where the body has the equivalent power, citing Illinois statute. I have the 2011 version, but I'm looking at, it's near page 102 in mine. Can't imagine it's changed much.
I have the 2013 version.
Yeah, me too.
I'll say, looking under a K,
K5.
K7.
K7, meetings to consider the appointment of
Oh,
a person.
it's the same.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Madam Mayor, members of the board,
My bad.
Clerk Green, if I perhaps just read the applicable statutes into the record, that may assist the board in its deliberations. Election code provides that when there is an vacancy in an office, the body that has the authority to fill the vacancy by appointment shall have the power to determine whether or not the facts occasioning such vacancy exist. That's 10 ILCS 5-25-3. And as I've alluded to, pursuant to the township code, the town board fills the vacancy by appointment for the remainder of the unexpired term, 60 ILCS 1/60-5.
Thank you. So what's your pleasure? We have a motion. He didn't make, okay. Would you,
Pursuant to 5 Illinois compiled statutes, ILCS 120/2A, I move that the Evanston Town Board convene into executive session to discuss agenda items regarding personnel. These agenda items are permitted subjects to be considered in executive session and are enumerated exceptions under the Open Meetings Act. These exceptions are 5 ILCS 120/2A and C1.
is there a second? It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session. City Clerk, would you call the roll?
Trustee Wilson.
Aye.
Trustee Holmes.
Aye.
Trustee Tindem.
Aye.
Trustee Grover.
Aye.
Trustee Rainey.
Aye.
Trustee Burris. Trustee Fisk. Trustee Braithwaite. Trustee Wynn. 9-0.
9-0, the motion passes.
Time is 7:20.
It's an explicit exception to the open meeting.